Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. This is a semi-response to my friend James Griffiths over at the James Griffiths channel. I'm going to link his original video below. And James did this interesting concept of a video where he talked about solid album closing tracks on albums that he considered to be kind of, middle of the road, not necessarily great albums. Um, and I told him, I said, James, I'm going to, hopefully hop on this. And I think the day that I made that comment, I went through my collection and was looking and looking and looking. And I was like, oh, it's a great album track. I mean, a great album closer. But I really like this album. I don't think it's a weak album or, a middle of the road album. And so I was going through all this stuff and I was like, I want to do this for James because I think it's a neat concept, but I just don't have enough enough records that qualify as, middle of the road for this thing. So what I decided to do is compromise and just pick, in no particular order, this is not a ranking, um, of 10 really solid album closers. And I'm inviting people to make this a thread and credit James with the thread, whether you do what I'm doing or whether you do what James did, the initial actual video, what you're supposed to do. But I'm obviously breaking rules here. And let me know if you make a video, let James know, tag James, all that good stuff, support each other. So in no particular order, I've got some CDs and vinyl records here to show you. First, I want to show, and what's one thing that I didn't do, I didn't pick albums that you might be expecting. Like I didn't pick, Dark Side of the Moon or, Abbey Road, which have killer album closing tracks. Who's Next with, Won't Get Fooled Again. So I picked, stuff in my wheelhouse, even though I love all that stuff, I do. But I just wanted to show some stuff that you might not know. A couple of them you will, but most of them maybe you won't. But first, though, I've got to go with my man Tom Petty here from the Southern Accents record, 1985. Final track is The Best of Everything, a beautiful closing track produced by Robbie Robertson of the band. And you also have Richard Manuel and I believe Garth Hudson from the band are playing on that track. Obviously, the band had disbanded several years prior. And let me see who's on here. Garth Hudson and Richard Manuel. Sometimes I can be smart. Sometimes I'm really dumb. But just a great track. That chorus, the mournful sound with Richard Manuel on those harmonies. Wherever you are tonight, I wish you the best of everything in the world, and honey, I hope you find whatever you've been looking for. And then you got this great horn section by Allen Toussaint. Just a really solid track on this record, which this is actually one of the records I considered choosing originally because I think this is a middle of the road Tom Petty album. It's not what it could have been. But anyway, Best of Everything, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Keeping with the CDs, I've got from the album Paradise Valley by everybody's favorite person to hate in the VC, which is very, it's just not warranted. I think John Mayer is a lot more than what you might expect by if you're just thinking about him being the top 40 guy. Look up John Mayer doing Going Down the Road Feeling Bad on David Letterman. You might change your mind. But there's an album, this is an album, kind of the second album in a two-part series, I guess, that he did, where he kind of focused on like 70s singer-songwriter style music. He was listening to a lot of Joni Mitchell, CSN, Neil Young. And this is the second of those two, called Paradise Valley, produced by Don Was, if that adds any credibility for you. I think it should. It's a track called On the Way Home. It's just kind of this great closure because the album starts where he's kind of joyful and like the summer starting, and then he's got all these great tracks. And this last track, the first line is, the summer's over, this town is closing. They're getting people out of the ocean or something like that. Just a really, really great track there, On the Way Home from Paradise Valley. Check this record out and check out the album before this, Born and Raised, which is in my top 10 favorite albums of all time. Next, we're going to go, this is I guess a common one here. Odyssey and Oracle, the last track, the Zombies' biggest hit, Time of the Season. What a Baroque pop, masterpiece of a tune. Is it overplayed? Yeah, sure. Is it my favorite on this album? No, but it is a solid track. You've got that, that classic boom, doom, doom, kind of sound, like they've opened up a fresh can of Coke and they're drinking, being refreshed. But Time of the Season, what a way to end this album. I think it's just such a solid, punch to the gut after listening to this album, which I think is a masterpiece. Also in my top 10 favorite records. And it's still all over classic radio, oldies radio. And I've been fortunate enough to see Rod Argent and Cullen Blunstone do this twice. And this will be a time I can say, Rod Argent just recently had a stroke that has forced him to retire from touring. He says he's doing well. He says he's still going to record, but he's no longer going to play on the road. So wish you well, Rod Argent. Thank you for years of great music live on the road. But Time of the Season, everybody knows it. What's your name? Who's your daddy? So there you go. Next, kind of a deeper cut here, but my buddy Glenn Kellaway will appreciate this. This is a supergroup, bluegrass supergroup, J.D. Crowe in the New South. J.D. Crowe, banjo player extraordinaire. And you have people on here like Tony Rice doing most of the guitar work and singing. You have Ricky Skaggs on mandolin and fiddle doing great background vocals. And you have Jerry Douglas playing on here. And it's rounded off by Bobby Sloan on the bass. But the last song on here is called Crying Holy. It's a 2-minute track, old gospel tune, sung by Ricky Skaggs. Just a fantastic tune. Great picking on here. Just closes out this album, which a lot of people consider the greatest bluegrass album of all time. I would not be far off by agreeing with them. But songs like Old Home Place are on here, Rock, Salt, and Nails, Sally Gooden, 10 Degrees, Summer Wages, I'm Walking, the Fats Domino tune, and then Crying Holy, just a great tune. The hook being Crying Holy unto the Lord, Crying Holy unto the Lord. If I could, I surely would stand on the rock where Moses stood. Just a fantastic tune. Ask Glenn Kellaway; he knows what I'm talking about. I'm just going through CDs here, and then I'm gonna finish off. I have 4 vinyl records. I just showed this in a recent video. This is That's Why God Made the Radio by the Beach Boys. It was their last studio effort in 2012 in conjunction with their 50th anniversary tour. Brian Wilson just nails the second half of this record out of the park. And the last track on here is a beautiful melancholy tune called Summer's Gone. It closes the record with Brian with these beautiful vocals from, the aging Brian Wilson. You have the lyrics, summer's gone away with yesterday. Just the way that they do it with those harmonies in the background. Then he goes into saying, old friends have gone, they've gone their separate ways. Our dreams hold on for those who still have more to say. I'll just keep reading it. Summer's gone like yesterday. The nights grow cold, it's time to go. I'm thinking maybe I'll just stay. And then he goes into something else, and then summer's gone, it's finally sinking in. One day begins, another ends. I'll live them all and back again. And then it closes, summer's gone. I'm gonna sit and watch the waves. We laugh, we cry, we live then die, and dream about our yesterday. And believe it or not, John Bon Jovi had a hand in writing that song. I didn't realize that. My buddy Adam over at What the Gym told me that, and then I fact-checked it essentially, and he was right. So Summer's Gone. This is a beautiful record if you don't know it. That's Why God Made the Radio. Fantastic album closer. And then my last of the CDs, this is U2. It's the follow-up to the Joshua Tree record, Rattle and Hum, and then this song closes with the beautiful 6-minute long All I Want Is You. And it is just an absolute beautiful build-up of a song. The kind of sparse guitar from the Edge, the guitar player at the beginning, just really simple, that bling doon 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 doon. And then Bono just starts singing super low. You say you want diamonds in a ring of gold, your story to remain untold, but all the promises we made from the cradle to the grave, when all I want is you. Just beautiful. and then he builds up to the end just with this like killer vocal where he's going, you know, you, all I want is you, and just keeps building on that. It's perfect, and then it ends with like this string section. Just a great track. This is my favorite U2 record as well. And I mean, this has the song Desire on it. That was the big hit. From here, they also do reimagined versions of Helter Skelter by the Beatles, All on the Watchtower, Pride in the Name of Love. I still haven't found what I'm looking for, both from the Joshua Tree record. These are live versions. But you also have Bullet the Blue Sky, When Love Comes to Town with B.B. King. It's a killer track. But All I Want Is You closes this album out beautifully. So there's the CDs. Let's hop into some vinyl records here really quick, and I'll be out of here. Traveling Wilburys Volume 1. I always talk about this record anytime I can. Maybe the best album closer in terms of just like subject matter. You have the song The End of the Line, which comes right after the song Tweeter and the Monkey Man, I believe. Am I right? Yep. See, brains are still there sometimes. But you got that breezy, like 12-string guitar at the beginning, that bow down, 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 bow down. And then you have all the guys singing on this, with the exception of Bob, who's singing background, but he's not singing a lead part. And obviously you have that great music video that came out right after Roy Orbison passed away, where the empty rocking chair has the guitar in it and it's rocking. Just a fantastic tune. Again, you've heard it done. It's been on TV shows, TV finales, that kind of thing. Just a perfect album closer to what I think is a perfect record. Also a top 10 record for me. And yeah, End of the Line. If you know, you know. If you don't know it, check it out. It's fantastic. Let's go here. Grateful Dead, American Beauty. This ends with their big hit, Truckin', which the thing about American Beauty that I think I put closer to not being a perfect album is the fact that the track listing is just completely wrong on it. I think they should have done much better. The fact that Ripple opens side 2, that song is dying to be an end of album track. Broke Down Palace is also another track that should be, you know, closer to the bottom in terms of, you know, when the album ends. But it closes with the song Truckin', and I think the reason that it works as a final track, even still, I mean there are several tracks on here that would work, is that it has that great line, you know, what a long strange trip it's been, which became a motto for the Grateful Dead. And this is if anybody's interested, this is the Rhino High Fidelity record. So that's just me showing that, you know, I too belong to the vinyl collecting community. But yeah, Truckin' by the Grateful Dead, great track. One of my favorite records, Strange Trails by Lord Huron. Their biggest song, The Night We Met, is the end of this track, which is just a great kind of breakup kind of song where, you know, they go into the line, I had all and then most of you, some and now none of you, take me back to the night we met, where, you know, the night you met somebody a lot of times is like, oh, that's what you hope the rest of the relationship sounds like. But in, you know, once you start finding out, like, oh, that's not the person for me, then, you know things have to end. But you're also like, you know, take me back to the night we met, where that's what, you know, that's the person that I, you know, wanted to see more of. But that's obviously not the person that they are. But anyway, for anybody that's been through something like that, you can relate to those lyrics. But yeah, just a great track. This whole album is fantastic if you don't know it. Kind of a concept-y record. All the tunes kind of merge. Not one after the other, but in terms of style and lyrics, there are some themes that come up here and there throughout the whole record. If you don't know it, if you like cinematic type breezy music, check out Strange Trails, Lord Huron, The Night We Met. That's their big song. Great closer. And then finally, I'm going to go with Tupelo, the album Tupelo Honey by Van Morrison. Great record. Terrible album cover. Nobody needs to see Van Morrison in a tank top with plaid pants, but we get to see that. The song is Moonshine Whiskey, which is just a great song. It's a longer track, about 6 minutes or so. It builds up. There are different tempos in it. he has this like, repetitive line of streamline, promenade, promenade, streamline, and then it bumps into this little guitar riff that bound and then it goes into, oh, she gave me moonshine whiskey, oh, she gave me southern love, deep in the heart of Texas, there beneath the stars above. It's just a fantastic tune. Whole album, again, fantastic. Opens with Wild Night. Tupelo Honey's obviously on here. You have I Wanna Rue You, which is a great deep cut. Old Woodstock is a great tune as well. But I absolutely, and for those that care, the little Warner Brother, Diva Diva Dee, That's All Folks label. And just a fantastic record. Top 5 Van Morrison record for me for sure. Maybe top 3. But yeah, Moonshine Whiskey to close out this grouping. So there you go. This video went way too long for what it was. Jump on the thread. Thank you, James, for providing the inspiration. Everybody go check out James Griffiths. Great guy over there in the UK. Again, his original video will be in the description. And tell him hello for me. All right, everybody. Y'all be good. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.